Alright, so as I take my afternoon walk, this is my first vlog about the NBA offseason, talking Mavericks, of course, and there's a lot to happen so far. We're still waiting for free agency to start July 1st. We've had the draft, and right now the biggest name on the Mavericks radar is DeAndre Jordan. I think it's going to happen one way or the other. Now, obviously the Mavericks would much rather do a sign and trade, which means that the LA Clippers would sign DeAndre Jordan and then trade him to the Mavericks for Wes Matthews and probably a second-round draft pick, maybe cash consideration, something like that. The Mavericks have a lot of space, cap space, more than any other NBA team, so they can use that as leverage. But the advantage then is that the Clippers have now said that they're more than likely, if they get Wes Matthews, to go ahead and buy him out, which then means he could go sign for anybody he wants, which, of course, he's enjoyed his time in Dallas. It's funny that all these free agents who end up signing in Dallas end up enjoying their time here, despite the fact that nobody wants to sign here. It doesn't make any sense. I think if the players actually talk to players who live and play in Dallas, they would maybe change their mind about coming to Dallas. The biggest problem about playing in Dallas right now is that we're still living in the Dirk era, and as long as we're living in the Dirk era, it's going to be hard to find free agents to come. For whatever reason, Dirk has really been a turnoff to free agents. But as we turn the corner on the Dirk era, we see Doncic, we see DSJ, Harrison Barnes. I think that this is going to be a location that players are going to be more interested in the next probably 2-3 years. I would be surprised if we're not able to sign DeAndre Jordan to an extension, probably 2 or 3 year extension. He'll be a free agent next year. I don't see him being the long-term piece, but obviously this team, the management anyway, is interested in giving Dirk one last shot at the playoffs, which is kind of disappointing because I think most Mavericks fans will say, look, even if we make the playoffs, we're destined to lose in the first round. We'll be a bottom 3 playoff position, and that would mean that we would play probably the Rockets, the Golden State Warriors, the LA Lakers, and it's a sweep, no doubt. So I think it's going to be a challenge for the Mavericks to continue to build a young team and continue to try and win with Dirk. I think it's kind of a disaster. You saw what happened doing that this last year. I think it'll be interesting if they try and do the same thing this year. Would be nice if we ended up with a top 5 pick. Obviously the top 5 protected pick that we traded to move up to get Doncic. If we lose that pick, it's not the end of the world. Harrison Barnes is a good small forward. The best players in this next year's draft are going to be Harrison Barnes type replacements. So you're not going to get killed by losing that pick, and at some point you're going to lose the pick. So, you know, if you lose it this next year, fine. There's going to be a lot of talent coming out, but it's really in that small forward position that Harrison Barnes currently holds. I would say center obviously is our biggest need. Alex Len is a potential piece going forward. He's younger, he's 25. DeAndre Jordan obviously will be 30 in a month. So if you can get both of them, you've got maybe a center for the future, maybe. And then you've got a center who can play the next couple of years to give you that window for Dirk to get back to the playoffs. A send-off that would be much better than, you know, another top 5 pick. As much as I think, you know, looking into the future, you'd love to have that top 5 pick in this upcoming draft and draft a Barnes replacement. Barnes is the most expensive player on this team. If you could trade him or let his contract expire in the next couple of years, the free up cap space with a young nucleus to bring in a young star, I think that's a huge plus. If the Mavericks can bring Wes Matthews back after this trade is done, I think that's worthwhile to look into. Depends on how much he's asking for. So if he's asking for 15 million, 17 million, no way am I doing that. But if we can get him for 9 or 10 million and keep some cap space open for re-signing Seth Curry, for example, or bring back McDermott, I think that would be worthwhile. But we'll see. I think the next couple of days are going to be very telling.